Good morning, everybody. I hope you have a relaxing night, a nice rest, and enjoyed dinner yesterday. I did have a nice dinner. Sorry about the mic, because the speeches were also very nice and very kind of them. I have a small announcement today regarding alarm system in the city of Barcelona. So today at 11 and 1, it may happen that the alarm systems on your mobiles is giving an alarm to you because they are testing the procedures. So just, it's not a real alarm, but test of the procedure. It is at 11 in Barcelona city and at 1 in Baix Llobregat. As we are in the border of the city, it may happen that it's duplicated. So I am sorry for those leading the panel at that time because they will be interrupted by blip, 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 blip. Okay, all together. But anyhow, okay. I have prepared a presentation for you to understand the impacts, the goals and missions of RES, and trying to make sure that this is a bit different than in the other occasions, okay? So this is our standard slide, which is giving the information and summary. So we started in 2006 providing services on HPC, and we have decided to be always open to whatever, new developments, new partners, new technologies. So we started with 7 centers. We are right now 14. We decided to go from services on HPC, specific high-performance computing, to include data services. Now we're including AI services, and I am sure that we will be extending with new services in the future to come. Of course, it's clear that in Spain we have resources of different levels and different capacities, but we consider very relevant that we are having access to Tier 0 system in Barcelona, Tier 1s located in Málaga and Galicia, but also Tier 2s are available. So we are sure that this is ecosystem that we are building is helping the users, but also the centers to get access to those infrastructure which is really required for the science development in Spain. On this slide, I also want to remark a couple of things at the very bottom, which is we are one of the ICTS, of the large infrastructures of Spain, recognized, okay? That means that we have to prepare continuously every 3 years a new strategic plan that deserves then investment from the government, central government, but also from the autonomies, and also by the institutions to make sure that we are upgrading our facilities and our infrastructures. Second point is that we are managing the systems, but we are not awarding the access. So we have external committee, centralized, that is awarding, that is selecting, that is identifying which are the best proposals to be executed and which are the best proposals, which ones deserves the access to the system. We have oversubscriptions, as you will see. At the same time, we have a user committee, so which is different. So the objective of the user committee is informing our stakeholders about that we are doing well, supporting the decisions on changing the procedures or changing the access model, on changing the different statements, and analyzing whether we are doing something good or bad, because we need to change. But this is as well external, so we provide access to them. This is required to have for an ICTS, for an Instalación Científico-Técnica Singular. You're required to have an external access committee who is granting at least 20% of your capacity to the users, and then a user committee which is analyzing your performance. We are also participating in the European ecosystem through the competence centers that it's managed by projects in different countries. It's a total of 34, if I'm not wrong, all over Europe. So here you have the information about HPC resources. So the diagram is logarithmic based, if I'm not wrong, yes. It's giving the information of the total capacity. So we have competitive calls every 4 months. So this is, we know it's very controversial because people say, oh, I would prefer to have access every year for a long duration of year, but then this is against the waiting time before your proposal is approved. So this is something that the user committee allow us to leverage and identify how we should be doing better. So we have oversubscriptions, which is, well appreciated. So the systems are fully utilized. There is oversubscriptions, meaning that it creates competition. That's the way science is being built these days, okay? It's open to industry, SMEs, but always for open R&D, okay? I mentioned yesterday that we have an access method that you request access in advance for a project you are planning to submit at European level. Then you can already, if you are awarded, you can already indicate you have allocated resources for the duration of the project in the future. I think this is a very interesting access model, but the reality is that it has been only applied once, okay? Maybe we are lacking distribution information, but okay. I think it's something that when we are presenting this case, an opportunity at the European level, the other countries are jealous of our process, of our procedures. Of course, this is science. We request to get acknowledgement of the utilization of resources. You have a list here of scientific areas. This is not that we are limiting access to these ones, but the fact is that most of our access is requested on these areas, and then the access committee is having panels on these areas. Of course, we have social sciences, and we have other ones, the economics, that in the case that we are receiving applications on these terms, we are using la Agencia de Evaluación to leverage the quality of those proposals, and then they are included into the selection list. In the future, we will be selecting another ones. Of course, you are not identifying here AI, because in the case, AI is used for a given science, is part of different science. It's not the technologies for AI themselves, okay? We built, when was it, Nadia? 3 years ago, access to data services. So data, it's mentioned yesterday, is very important. So we need to make sure that data is stored and made available to other scientists. So this is the objective. It's not to give the capacity to store the data. It's to guarantee that the data is stored, certified, purified, maintained, and offered to other groups. And this is the requirement for getting access to this, okay? And we were looking for large volumes of data, okay? We're understanding that our objective is not going to small volumes because this is high performance, so it's high performance data analytics that we are providing. It's not only providing access to storage, but also access to some capacities to create the data, to analyze the data, and to offer the data. Of course, you have Nadia here available for any questions on this matter. We are opening the next call in November for next resources available. So the duration of the access is 3 to 5 years. And of course, after 3 to 5 years, everybody's looking at me, but the data, if you are not extended, will be removed. So what we are keeping is information that is valuable. If the access committee indicates that this is not valuable anymore, data has to be removed and has to be taken back home. Sorry about it. New, artificial intelligence, okay? So we have opened in March, April, the request for getting new nodes in the network for awarding resources for AI. We have been working on this matter for a year to identify which resources are necessary for AI, which services, okay? So we identify 3 opportunities. First, a project that wants to perform a long execution. It's called medium-long activities. This is considered to be as a normal HPC project. So I define my project, I need to run for 3 or 4 months, and I need allocation of resources. Resources are similar It's GPUs. We have GPUs for HPC, for AI. Second one is short-range activities. So I need to test some a model, not to build a model, but to test the model, to do some validation. And we create these short-range activities. So while the first one requires full review by the Access Committee, this second is only requesting a technical review. Then users will be awarded for a small amount, shared resources, for a year duration. And the review of the success of these applications is at the end of the period. If the execution and the usage was correct, they will be extended. If not, they will have a penalty of a year. I think that was the agreement, Muriel, correct? And the third one is mentored activities. And this is, we know that these new technologies are evolving daily, and they have new complexities that our users are not aware of. So we have requested the new centers that are exposed to these services that they are allocating 1 or 2 people that are able to be part of the group doing research and helping them on how to apply these AI models and technologies to their objective, their scientific objective. So those are the services that we are providing since June, July on the Spanish Supercomputing Network. Okay? So we are looking forward next year to understand whether our analysis on the services required is adequate or not. So we've been looking around Europe for different opportunities, and that was, in fact, the best approach we have. Of course, you had the opportunity yesterday to visit Mare Nostrum 5. You had complete explanations of the systems. I will be open to any further questions on what is the technology, what is. But in fact, this is an investment, joint investment by the European Commission, Spain, Portugal, and Turkey. And by Spain, by the Spanish and the Catalan government sharing cost at the normal standard 60-40%. The objective is that with an investment of 210 million euros, total cost ownership, so CAPEX and OPEX, so it's 165 CAPEX and the rest is OPEX, we want to have access to a system for having users most performing systems over Europe. So there are 3 systems of this kind at the European level. So this is our so-called pre-exascale. So it's Lume, Leonardo, and Mare Nostrum. And we decided that we want to go for a technology that is at this point of time, based on general purpose for the majority of the costs, meaning of investment, meaning operational. So for this reason, we are having a general purpose partition, which is, quotes, only rating a peak performance of 45. You know the sustain is to be demonstrated, okay, and running HPL. This is the value that the vendor, let me say, evident atos bull, they have to demonstrate, but I'm sure that they will be able to do this 35 petaflop sustain, okay? It is based on Sapphire Rapids Intel. It's a total of 90 racks. It's a total of 6,600 nodes, which Mon is not here. Then I can say it's a factory network. It's not full. It's having 3 islands, but 3 islands of 2,000 nodes each, which is quite impressive. Okay? We are having, as the system right now, same configuration, 3% of fat nodes, meaning 8 gigabytes per core, and the rest is 2 gigabytes per core. We have 1 rack, 72 nodes with HBM memory for those applications that are interested to test the performance of these technologies. Of course, we want to go for an pre-exascale system, and then this requires to have accelerated partition, and this is the accelerated partition provided by Evident, which is based in Sapphire Rapids and NVIDIA Hopper. So it's a total of 1,120 nodes, every node with 2 Sapphire Rapids and 4 NVIDIA Hopper for a total peak performance of 260. You've seen yesterday, the racks are almost here, so there are a total of 35, 30 are already at the place. Of the total of 1,100 nodes, we have half of them already in the place, so we are looking forward to switch them on and to start testing these technologies. The central part, storage file system, based on Spectrum Scale by IBM, total capacity of 248, spinning disk, 10% NVMe flash memory for caching, and of course 400 based on library. The performance of the storage is 1.6 terabytes per second read and write about. New technologies is we wanted to be available to test new technologies, and this is based, I am very slow, and this is based on NVIDIA Grace, which we are expecting to receive by October, November. So you really know when you have the technology, when it is at the facility. Before that, it's estimations. And these days, it's very difficult to have an adequate analysis on when the system will be delivered. And the last one, Agustin, okay, it's next generation. So everything was proposing us to have a system based on Emerald Rapids and Rialto Bridge. Rialto was the evolution of Ponte Vecchio. For any reasons, it's been discontinued, the Rialto Bridge. So then we have to change the technology, and we are right now evaluating this technology. What is for sure, it will be a very nice technology for you to test out for the next systems to come. So what is happening is the GPP is there, lights are flashing, the system is booted. We are running some tests. It's still not ready for acceptance. We're working on acceptance. I'm expecting that availability to normal users will be early January. Early users, maybe December. Spanish Supercomputing Network users will be assigned this period to Mare Nostrum 4, and if the system is stable, they will be shifted on the period to Mare Nostrum 5. Accelerated partition, system is not complete, it's not here, so my guess, I cannot use my Thunder, I have to use the small one. But we are working all together to make it happen again the same period. So January availability, okay? As I said, ready for any question on this matter. So the access for Mare Nostrum is twofold. So, is fourfold, or 5. So it's a European system. So 50% of the capacity, you can get access through praise. So this is named the access to, EuroHPC. So you have the normal calls that EuroHPC has presented. So it's already, you can apply already for this technology. Then it's accessible through the Spanish network, RES. Then it's accessible by the Portuguese calls because they have a fraction of the access. And then it will be accessible through the Turkish call. So they will be independent because every one of the stakeholders is owner of part of the technology. We will try to synchronize them to make sure that this is not impacting the utilization of the system for the users, okay? Because the objective is this part. So we are working on this matter. And there is a small portion available to the BSc employees, okay? For the employees of BSc, not for the friends of the employees of BSc. No, because there's always a fight I have with BSc engineers. So they say, no, but I'm working in a project with a colleague of mine that is on this institution. No, then you have to apply REST, you have to apply your HPC of you, whatever. Now I play backwards, which is always nice. This is the estimated resources available that will come after periods on the different capacities. So you see that we are boosting the capacity for REST in 30 times the former capacity on flops, okay, which is the figure we are using these days to analyze the capacity, because if we are counting in core hours, it's not that impressive. For your analysis, you are using flops to make your simulations. So the improvement, the boost of the capacity is very good. So that's the way we were willing to work with Europe. We're having a larger machine. Maybe we're having only a portion, but still significant boost for the Spanish scientists in this case. To finish, we are working with you, for you, and for the services. So we are doing the user conference. I'm proud to have organized this year in Barcelona. We synchronized with the presentation of Mare Nostrum. We were hoping that it was already inaugurated, but it will come someday. I hope this is not the 30th of February, but it will come a day, okay? We will be organizing this conference yearly. So the objective is to get you involved in, and for us to get involved in your science to understand what you need. We are sponsoring scientific seminars. You are organizing. We are having a call that you can request for us some sponsorship. Of course, we are not in financing office, so we want to have something in return. So we want to be able to present what we are doing at the Spanish Supercomputing Network. And normally we're awarding 5 to 6 different conferences a year, correct? With an amount which is not negligible. It is useful for the companies. And of course, we're doing technical workshops to make sure that our technicians at the Spanish network are always at the top front of the wave of technology. Others are invited into fold to be with us when we have capacity to learn, but also to be the trainers for these people, okay? And then I'm referring to vendors and technology providers, okay? Of course, we cannot have the ICTS without our sponsors, so thanks once again to all the sponsors that are supporting the development of these activities, that enable us to have nice facilities, nice dinners, and nice coffee breaks that we are able to share the time with you and to make sure that we are developing. With nothing more, just please make sure that you are following us and that we are keeping in touch continuously. Thank you very much, and I'm open for questions. If some. So I was brave. I was very clear. None? Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much.